Revolutions get a bad rap. When we think of a revolution, we imagine the death of an entire empire, the end of an establishment. When you think of a revolution, you imagine overwhelmingly the crushing epidemic of something being gone. Revolutions are things of sadness. But revolutions also bring about a new thing. They're a new age. Revolutions allow for the repaving of an old thing. They allow for the birth of a new nation. The revolutions give you the opportunity to redefine yourself. In everyday life, we often try to craft our own revolutions. This may be that project that you've been working 33 hours on, but yet seem to go nowhere. This may be that thing that you've been going at for the last 3 years, and you are still at the beginning stages because you have not yet learned the essential steps that comes with understanding why a revolution succeeds. Revolutions are not only long-term things. You don't have to be a long and grand-standing individual to be a revolutionary. You don't have to be Napoleon. You don't have to be Thomas Jefferson. You don't have to be Yoda. But the thing about a revolution is that it takes 3 important things. The first thing for a revolution to succeed is a mimetic idea. Something that gravitates people, that thing that pushes you, your passion, whatever that may be, it has to be powerful. A mimetic idea is whatever you have, whatever you need, whatever that points you in the right direction. A friend of mine calls it your why. Why do you do this? When our forefathers were crafting the Declaration of Independence, they got together in a dimly lit room and started to write. One individual stood up sharply. Often people write about him. I like to call him Thomas Jefferson. He was the guy who wasn't popular in Hamilton. But Thomas Jefferson stood up and started to craft and write, and he said, "We the people, in order to have a more perfect union," or something like that. But the point was, it was something that people could gravitate towards. It was a mimetic idea. A few years before, our forefathers had crafted the term, "No taxation without representation," and you had everyone from 60-year-old women to 4-year-olds in diapers saying, "No taxation without representation." They might not know what it meant, but the point was, it was something that caught on. It was the hashtag. It was your own viral fire. But a fire can burn. A fire can exist. But if there's no kindling, if there is no support system, if there is nothing for the fire to latch onto, then what's the point of having a fire? The next thing every revolutionary needs and has to have is a support system. This can be your mother, your father, your mistress, your uncle, your ex-girlfriend. The first person you saw today can be the person sitting next to you. I don't care who it is. Make sure they're on your team. When Napoleon wanted to take over the world, which he almost did, he started to craft his exquisite team of ministers. One individual, Talleyrand, wasn't exactly on said team. And if you look at history, you'll see that Talleyrand eventually led to the downfall of Napoleon. But the point remains that if you're going to succeed, you have to have a support now. Imagine a trapeze artist floating through the air, breathless, almost angelic in visage. You see that all eyes are upon them. It is a starry sky. The trapeze artist floats and flies and moves. But if there is no support system, you don't want to be the one who falls. Your support system takes you forward. It allows you to get to a place where you are more than just yourself. You now have your fire, which is burned passionately. And the thing about that fire is that this attracts people. It brings them out. It allows them to know, this is what I want to do. But the last thing that you have to have, the thing that you absolutely need, is a step-by-step direction. When I was a kid, we called it following instructions. College now calls it SMART goals. So obviously, somewhere between here and there, they changed the name, and I am not happy about that. But the point remains that you have to have your goals. When I enter my car, so-called the roly-poly, because it looks like a roly-poly, I drive a minivan, I'm not proud of it, but when I type it in, I go in and I enter my phone, I type in the directions of where I want to go. It gives me a step-by-step basis as to how to get there, when there will be, and sometimes, if I'm lucky, it'll even tell me when a red light will be there. But the point remains that you have to have that step-by-step basis. Your crowd of people, that attraction that you formed, has to know where they're going. JFK said loud and proud, "I am going to the moon," which is a great statement. But we had to have a plan. was a step-by-step direction as to how we'll build the rockets, we'll add the fuel, we'll fly it up, and then we'll get to the moon. No, that's not going to work. We'll redo it, we'll get there. But you have to have a step-by-step direction. The goals that you set are what will take you from simply being a passionate nut job to someone with a vision. All revolutions fail or succeed on these 3 ingredients. If you have a mimetic idea, that's phenomenal. And we all have that. Right now, you're in a position to change the world, and you may not know it. You're a college student, or you finished college, or you haven't been in college for a while, but the point remains, opportunities are with you every single day. And if you capture them, find what chases you, find what pushes you, find what takes you from where you are now to where you want to be. That's what defines your mimetic idea. It is your why. And you already have your support system, but make sure that you can trust them. Make sure that you cultivate your crowd. Make sure that they believe in you. Almost frenzied in nature, but they have to believe in you. But what that belief, make sure that they know that I have to know the truth. Be honest with each other. Recognize when you fail. Because much like Talleyrand would tell Napoleon, you're doing great when he wasn't. Yes, you should invade Russia in the winter. That's a good idea. You don't want to be that guy. Don't let your Elba or Iba, or wherever the island Napoleon went up to, be the place that you fail when someone doesn't tell you the truth. And finally, let your goals be something that takes you forward. Make your goals narrow or broad. Let your goals be as wide as the moon. Let your goals be, we're going to the moon. But the point remains that you can get there. You just have to know how. And that how is essential to all you're going to be. But if you've gained anything from my speech, know this. We all have the ability to change the world, and how we do it every day is what defines us. My name's JJ. Be revolutionary, y'all.